Number one, buy because this property is cheap. That's number one that I see. Property is so cheap, let's buy it. When you buy a property, it's not the four walls of a property that you buy. It's everything together. Remember, I'm talking about buying a property for profit, for growth, for wealth. If you want to buy it today and sell it tomorrow and lose on it, be my guest. But if you want to put a strong foundation in buying and growing and building wealth, these are the things that you have to pay attention. Now, the property is cheap for many reasons. Might be a growth house, which I think last week I showed you a sample of it. The house was in the market for many, many months, couldn't sell, and everybody knew that's a grow house. The property can be cheap because of the position it has. For instance, there is something new coming to the neighborhood. Let's say back of the house, and I've had one of those cases in Milton. The back of the house was a vacant land, bare land, and I checked with the city, and there's supposed to be a gas station coming right in your backyard. So you don't want to buy that house because it would suppress the growth of your house in long term. We're talking about 3 to 5 years at least. So why bother? Number two, buy because a friend said it is a good property, and I see that all the time. My cousin said it's a great house to buy. Come and buy it. I give you some discount here. My friend said this is no brainer. Buy it, and you're going to make a lot of money. And you sign the contract, and you done deal. You are bringing a tenant, if you can find a tenant for that property, and you're sitting and waiting for the growth, and surprise, it won't happen. If you go to a certain neighborhood in Toronto, for instance, Jane and Finch maybe, you go there, properties stay there while other properties growing very fast, and you do not get the ride. Next one, buy because you hope or you wish value will grow. This is what I see very often with the land buyers. They call me and said, Ashton, we like this neighborhood. There's a huge land there. Can you buy it? And I stop them asking them these questions. Why you want to buy it? Well, hopefully it will grow, or we wish in 10 years down the road it will grow a lot so we become millionaire. I said, how do you know in 10 years the zoning will be changed? How do you know in 10 years the growth of that land is supported for different factors? Maybe just right around it, it's going to be industrial sites. The zoning is important. The city's planning is important. So all of this would cross the option of buying that land. I always suggest them, go buy it somewhere that you have a strong data to support your growth. Buy because you think you will lose it. Well, I don't care if you lose it or not. Just go back. Do not attach your heart to it. Just go back and do your due diligence. Make sure you are not enticed here. Make sure this house is rentable. It brings you profit. I've seen homes that, believe it or not, stay in the market. It's a great neighborhood in Oakville, for instance. And after I did the investigation, I noticed that one of the owner had a lady hang herself up in the garage, and that house has speculations on it and a stigma on it, and no one wants to buy it. I hesitate to buy that. And one of the reasons here is, remember, whenever you buy a house, think as one day you want to sell it. So question yourself, is there anything that would suppress the growth of this house? If yes, then think twice, because you're not there to buy any leftovers. Buy because it's beautiful. That's another pitfall that I see with the newbies in real estate investment. They buy us a house that one day, if you want to move in there, we can move in there. Well, you know what? This is a business. Keep it separate. Go with the numbers and treat it as a business. Let the business make money for you. Do not go to this house and not doing your homework for the price, for the neighborhood, for the structure of the house. Maybe this house, I've seen one of those houses in Cambridge. The house was excellent. The return was great in terms of the ROI, return on investment, through the tenants. We went to the basement. It was one of those 7 years old home, and the basement was all full of water. It has a foundation problem, so it would have cost us easy, let's say, close to $15,000 to $20,000 fixed. So beautiful house. It has great ROI, but not for real estate investment. You have to buy something that is simple. You're not buying headaches. Buy something that's straightforward that create money for you and grow in value. And there are plenty of those if you do your due diligence. Okay. Because it's beautiful. Okay, the next one is because buy it because it is a foreclosure homes. All right, people go nuts and crazy for foreclosures. By the way, foreclosures, I think Tabassum would agree with me. Foreclosures in Canada is a different game than in US. In US, you possibly see some of those movies, people going and buying foreclosures, they go nuts and crazy, and at the end of the video, the clip, the movie, you're going to see the guys making $100,000. The way it works with US here is, if the house is, let's say, $400,000 and the owner cannot pay, he runs away, and there's only $100,000 mortgage on it, the bank, the money lender, they don't care how much that value of the house is. They want their $100,000 out. They sell it for $100,000. They burn it. Hell with it. You're out. In Canada, because of the consumers protection law that we have in place, banks are not allowed to undersell the foreclosures. So foreclosures, let's say the value of the property is $700,000 and it becomes foreclosure, and the bank cannot sell it for $300,000. That's against the law. They have to sell it with the market value, and if there is anything extra, they have to give it to the owner. And some of the foreclosures that we have in Canada, they are not always clean. Sometimes they have disasters happen into the house that they need a lot of fix up. But some of these fix ups, we don't see it. I've heard the story of this guy put a bag of cement into the washrooms and it blocked the tube and the pipe. So you don't see that one. So when you take over, you want to flush the toilet, it doesn't go down, and that's going to cost you a good 10 grand to dig the ground and fix everything. And this is something I know. Some of the foreclosures that I kind of crossed are also the growth house. So for growth house, you have to remove the drywalls, check behind it. There's a huge mold growing inside the house. So that is costly. And to add to that, it creates a stigma. So whoever wants to buy that house would think twice. If you remember, I was talking about if the property is cheap, and I saw that one in number 6 Mercedes. And that is a house in Toronto that was on the market for a long time, I think 2 or 3 years. They started reducing the price, coming down and down and down. Actually, one of my clients asked me to buy it for them. And I did my due diligence. I pulled out all the police report, and I noticed that house was seized by police because it was a growth house. And I was watching the transaction, and I was watching it for many months. Finally, it sold under value. So you don't want to buy those kind of house. As I said, buy it today as one day you want to sell it. So don't get tempted for the price. Cheap is not always the most important things. You have to look into that. So again, don't go after the cheap one. Don't go because someone that you know said it's good. Don't go because you wish and you hope or think you're going to lose this good opportunity or it's beautiful. Do not attach your heart to that. And foreclosure, you can come across all of these options, but at the end of the day, make sure you do your due diligence, check everything, check the numbers. I sometimes go and knock at the doors of the neighbors and introduce myself. I said, by the way, I want to buy your neighbor's house, what do you think? You will be surprised how the neighbors open up and talk to you. And you can always pull out things from them. Even buying a condominium, I do that. A unit, I go knock at left and right, ask them, do you like a condo? Or if I see someone in the elevator, as we go up or down, I say, hey, by the way, we're going to buy unit 306. How do you like the building? Oh, there's huge problem we had with plumbing, which happens to one of the building I know in Mississauga. We have huge problem with elevators, which I know another building happened in Mississauga. So investigate, check. At the end of the day, my friends, it is your money. No one cares except you. So you really have to know what you're doing.